Welcome. Imagine your family has Croatian roots, but you've never lived in Croatia, you don't speak Croatian fluently, and you're not sure if you can use your family history to obtain citizenship today. Many people think that Croatian citizenship is only available to those who were born in the country, lived there for a long time, obtained a residence permit, completed the standard naturalization process, and met all the requirements typically imposed on foreigners. But for some applicants, there is another path, a simplified procedure. In this video, we'll explore who this might be suitable for, what family circumstances matter, what documents are usually required, and why it's important to check your eligibility in advance rather than starting the process blindly. Let's note right away, every case is individual. Having a Croatian surname, family stories, or old photos does not in itself guarantee a positive result. But if your family truly has connections to Croatia, this path can be a real opportunity to obtain citizenship of a European Union country. Croatia is a member of the European Union, a country with access to the Adriatic Sea, a well-developed tourism industry, and a European legal system. A Croatian passport grants its holder the rights associated with EU citizenship, the ability to live, work, study, and run a business in European Union countries under more liberal conditions. This is why interest in Croatian citizenship is growing. But unlike standard naturalization, where residency in the country, integration, language proficiency, and other conditions are typically important, the simplified procedure is based primarily on ancestry and family connections to the Croatian people. Simply put, the state considers not only where a person currently lives, but also their family history. Who their parents, grandparents, great-grandmothers, or great-grandfathers were, where they were born, where they came from, what documents have been preserved, and whether this connection can be officially confirmed. Who is eligible for the simplified procedure? The first category includes descendants of people who migrated from the territory of modern-day Croatia to other countries. This is one of the most common cases. For example, if your grandfather or great-grandfather was born in Croatia, then left the country and migrated to another country, their descendants may have grounds for applying. In this case, it is important not just to tell your family's story, but to confirm it with documents, birth certificates, marriage certificates, name change certificates, archival records, and other official documents. The second category includes people who can prove their Croatian ancestry through their family line. Sometimes the family left a long time ago, documents have been partially lost, and the names of countries and territories in old papers differ from modern ones. This does not always mean the path is closed, but in such cases, it is especially important to restore the document chain and understand exactly how Croatian government authorities will evaluate the evidence. Third, adult applicants who wish to obtain citizenship not through long-term residence, but through a confirmed family relationship. For many people, this is a key distinction. The simplified procedure may be of interest to those who do not plan to first relocate to Croatia for years, apply for long-term residence, and only then submit an application. But this does not mean the process becomes a mere formality. The verification of documents, origin, and grounds still remains a serious matter. Fourth, families where several family members may be eligible for citizenship simultaneously or consecutively. In practice, this often happens when one person finds out about the possibility of applying, starts collecting documents, and then discovers that not only they, but also their brothers, sisters, parents, or children may be eligible. In such cases, it is important to establish the correct sequence of actions and understand whose documents will form the basis for the applications. Now, let's take a look at which factors are most important for assessing your prospects. The number one factor is exactly who was your Croatian ancestor. This could be a parent, grandmother, grandfather, great-grandmother, great-grandfather, or another direct ancestor. What matters is a proved connection from the applicant to a parent, from a parent to the previous generation, and so on. If there are gaps in this line, such as a missing marriage certificate or a document regarding a name change, the process can become more complicated. Factor number two is exactly where the person came from. Here, it is important to rely on documents rather than family legends. Old certificates and archival records may list historical names of states, regions, or settlements. The legal goal is to match this information with the modern territory of Croatia and confirm that the connection is indeed relevant to the application. Factor number three, when and where the ancestor migrated. The date and destination of the migration can be significant in assessing the grounds for the application. Therefore, before submitting the application, it is important not to rely on a single document, but to gather a complete picture: where the person was born, where they lived, when they left the territory, where they migrated to, and what documents confirm this. Factor number 4, whether any official documents have been preserved. The most important documents in such cases are civil status records, birth, marriage, and death certificates, as well as documents regarding a change of first or last name. Archival records, certificates, old passports, military documents, church records, or other forms of proof may also be required, but each case must be analyzed individually. Not all documents are equally suitable, and not every old document will be sufficient. Factor number 5, the accuracy of translations and legalization. Even if you have all the necessary documents, they must be prepared correctly. They usually require translation, certification, and sometimes an apostille or other form of legalization, depending on the country of issuance. Mistakes in the spelling of a name, different variations of a surname, inaccurate dates, and inconsistencies between documents can cause additional questions. Now let's talk about common misconceptions. Misconception 1, I have a Croatian last name, so I'm sure to be granted citizenship. A last name can be a clue, but it's not proof. What matters to the government are official documents and the legal connection between generations. If you don't have the documents, you need to find or reconstruct them. Second misconception, if one of my family members has already received citizenship, I'm automatically entitled to it too. A family member's citizenship can help establish the family line, but each applicant undergoes their own review. You must prove your own connection and your own grounds. Third misconception, old documents won't work because they list a different country. Not always. Historical documents may have used names of countries and territories that no longer exist in their original form. This requires legal analysis, not an automatic rejection of the idea. Fourth misconception, a simplified procedure means fast and without verification. No. A simplified procedure means that the path is based on a special legal basis rather than on standard residency and naturalization. But verification of documents, origin, and compliance with requirements remains mandatory. Misconception 5. You can submit any documents first and sort things out later. This approach often results in delays, additional requests, and the risk of rejection. It is much safer to first conduct a preliminary assessment, identify the case's weaknesses, obtain any missing documents, and only then prepare the application. What documents might be required? The application package typically begins with the applicant's own documents: a birth certificate, passport, and documents regarding marriage or a change of surname if such changes have occurred. Next, a chain of documents is collected along the line of descent. For example, a parent's birth certificate, followed by a grandparent's birth certificate, marriage documents, and birth certificates for earlier generations. The goal is to demonstrate an ongoing connection from the applicant to the ancestor on whom the application is based. Documents confirming the ancestor's connection to Croatia may also be required: place of birth, residence, departure from the country, Croatian ancestry, or other circumstances relevant to the specific case. It is important to focus on archival research. If documents have not been preserved in the family, this does not always mean they cannot be obtained. Often the necessary records are found in archives, civil registry offices, church records, or other sources. However, the search may take time, especially if the data is incomplete or there are discrepancies in the documents. What does the typical path to submission look like? The first step is a preliminary assessment of eligibility. At this stage, specialists analyze family history, available documents, dates, places of birth, relocations, and potential legal grounds. The main goal is to determine whether there is a possibility of success and which approach is best to take. The second step is creating a list of required documents. After the analysis, it becomes clear which documents are already available, which need to be reissued, and which require translation, certification, or additional verification. The third step is collecting and preparing the documents. This may include requests to archives, obtaining duplicate certificates, correcting mistakes, preparing translations, and checking the accuracy of all data. Step 4 is submitting the application. The application can be submitted through the relevant authorities depending on the applicant's place of residence and the specific situation. It is important to understand in advance exactly where to submit the documents and in what format. Step 5 is waiting for the application to be reviewed and responding to any requests. Government authorities may request additional information or clarifications. Therefore, it is important to maintain a clear record of the case and be prepared to confirm every relevant detail. Step 6. Receiving the decision. If the decision is positive, the applicant becomes a citizen of Croatia in accordance with established procedures. After that, you can apply for citizenship documents, including a Croatian passport. This option is worth considering if your family has ancestors who were born in the territory of modern Croatia. It's also worth checking if your family has preserved any old documents mentioning Croatian towns, surnames, archival records, or references to your ancestry. Another scenario is if relatives have spoken of Croatian roots, but the documents have not yet been gathered. In this case, the first step is not to submit an application, but to search for evidence. Additionally, the procedure may be of interest to those who wish to obtain EU citizenship based on descent without starting the process with standard naturalization through long-term residence. Croatian citizenship through a simplified procedure is not just a formality, nor is it an automatic right based on one's surname. It is a legal process in which ancestry, documentation, and proper preparation play a key role. This path may be suitable for descendants of Croatian immigrants, people with a proven family connection to Croatia, and those who wish to explore the possibility of obtaining EU citizenship through ancestry. But success depends on the details: who your ancestor was, where they were born, when and where they emigrated, what documents have been preserved, and whether the family line can be officially documented. If you suspect your family has Croatian roots, start with a professional assessment. There's no need to immediately gather dozens of documents. First, it's important to understand whether there's a basis for the claim, what documents are actually needed, and how realistic the application is. Our specialists guide clients through every stage of the citizenship application process, analyzing the situation, assisting with document retrieval, preparing the application, and navigating the rest of the procedure. Submit a request for a free consultation following the link in the description. We will assess your situation, review your existing documents, identify potential legal grounds for your application, and advise you on what steps to take next. Properly prepared documents and the right approach can significantly increase your chances of a successful result. Take the first step toward new opportunities today, and we will help you go through this process professionally, calmly, and confidently.